Good morning, Kindle Kids, and welcome to your Tuesday, April 27th. Today is National Tell a Story Day. Well, why don't I actually tell you guys a little story? Well, let's bring you all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to France, and imagine that you are walking through a grape vineyard or a vineyard on your way up to this beautiful mountain landscape. You can see those mountains up there, and you're walking along and you notice this weird hole in the ground. You go through the hole and all of a sudden you're in this excavated series of chambers and rooms with archaeologists working all around you. If you look really closely at some of the walls and ceilings, you might actually see there are these really kind of cool drawings all over the place. This is actually where early humans, remnants of Neanderthals, ended up painting on the walls and telling the very first human stories. They were recording what was going on around them and recording about great hunts that they had and, really kind of amazing observations of the world around them. And since then, that's kind of been the first evidence of us telling stories to each other in this way through a visual language, evolving into things like hieroglyphics for the Egyptians that told many both religious stories and stories about the greatness of different pharaohs. And then you're fast forwarding to the Native Americans who actually passed down their entire culture via storytelling. Very little of their history is written in any actual physical form. It's mainly told through tales passed down generation by generation. And then in Europe, we have the immorality tales, things like Aesop's fables. You can think about all the things, the tortoise and the hare kind of tale, or any number of other, tales that basically warn you, don't go into the woods alone, or don't wander away from your parents, or don't trust strangers, which I feel like has a running theme going on that I wonder if Europe was really that fun of a time during, the medieval times. But anyways, let's fast forward way, way, way up to 1938, when during Halloween, Orson Welles told a radio story that scared the entire nation. He told a story about us being invaded by aliens, and people were actually convinced because it was told like a radio broadcast or a news broadcast that there were actually aliens outside invaded the United States. So that was a pretty convincing story in itself. And then think about this guy. We have seen so many of his stories. This is Walt Disney, and I feel like almost every kid in the world is familiar at least with a couple of his. So, why don't you sit down, try to talk to a friend, maybe tell them a little story about something that happened to you. You can do a little embellishment, why not? So really enjoy the act of storytelling and hearing those really fun stories. Anyways, now that I've told you that story, why don't we put our hands over our hearts, find the flag in the room, and please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Okay there, Candle Kids. Let's talk a little bit about food. Today we have a tuna sandwich or soft tacos with salsa, sliced carrots, pears, and milk. What's going on with the weather outside? It is actually going to be very nice today. High of 69 degrees. We're back to that near summer weather set of temperatures, that warm spring air. But the downside is we're going to have some pretty good cloud cover for the majority of the day, looking at a slight chance of rain at about 12%. And then tomorrow is going to stay nice and warm, but the precipitation is going to start pushing in as it cools off later through the day. So the temperatures will drop out on us at the end of the day with a high chance of rain. Thursday and Friday look a little bit on the wet side. Friday drying back out. And then Saturday we're back to the nice bits of sunshine coming through and kind of stabilizing temperature pretty close to 60 degrees. So watch out for that temperature swing and drop around Friday. But otherwise, pretty good forecast in the long term. So let's end our announcement, that Kendall mission statement. The mission of the Kendall Central School District is to provide the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes needed by students to live responsibly and to compete successfully in today's and tomorrow's world. Well, I hope you guys have a terrific Tuesday, and if I don't get a chance to see it, remember to stay colorful, Kendall.